Hi, I'm Benjamin, author of Master Math Models and 18 math guidebooks found in major bookshops like Popular and used by thousands of students. My mission is to make difficult math questions easy for children to understand so that they will love and enjoy maths. If you would like to learn more about quick and easy ways to help your child learn and understand maths, simply subscribe by hitting on the button below to watch my other videos which are constantly added and updated. This video is part of an online program that covers the entire syllabus, and if you would like to learn more about it, please contact us. If you would like to have a free copy of the worksheet used in this video and for other free resources like exam papers, please join my Telegram group, which can be found in the description of this video below. So, let's get great at maths. Hi, welcome, and right now we are going to begin on the topic of volume. Before we begin on the topic of volume, you must first learn how to draw a cube or a cuboid, and I'm about to demonstrate that. If you can, get a pencil and a piece of paper so that you can follow along. Okay, are you ready? If not, you can pause this a little while longer. And here I will begin. The first thing you want to do is you want to draw a square or a rectangle like this. Next, I want you to imagine that this is a table that has fallen forward facing you. And with that, there will be 4 legs of the table that look like this. The 4 legs should be roughly of the same length. And then now we're going to join the legs together using straight lines like this, and that forms your basic shape of a cuboid. Next, in order to complete this cuboid, I will need to draw a line parallel to these 3 lines, about so, and a line parallel to these 3 lines, about so, and finally a line parallel to this and this that looks something like this. And with this, I would have completed a cuboid. With this, we now need to label the 3 sides so that we know what the 3 sides are called. And the 3 sides are here, and the names of the 3 sides are length, breadth, and height. Now that we have determined what the length and the breadth and the height represents, we now know that to find the volume of the cuboid, before we do that, we must understand that if we were to take the full length, the full breadth, and the full height, and we multiply them together, we are getting the volume of the cuboid, the full volume of the cuboid. And the full volume of the cuboid is also known as its capacity. So learn this word. Capacity means a fully filled container. Okay, it doesn't have to be a cube or a cuboid. It can be any container. It can be a drum, a container, a cylinder, okay, a can. These are all containers, and they all have a capacity, which is the full or complete amount of liquids or gas or anything that you would like to fill it with. Next, the length and the breadth of this cuboid, as you can see, is at the bottom of the cuboid. And this cuboid, very often we see cardboard boxes that look like this. The bottom of this cardboard box is known as the base of the box. Hence, if I take length times breadth, and as we know in area, when we learned this topic earlier, length times breadth gives you area. So if that is the case, then what we have over here for the base is the area, if I were to take the length times the breadth. And so length times breadth can also be represented by what we call base area. Okay, so length times breadth is actually base area. Okay, and so because of that, when we take length times breadth, and these are the first initials of length and breadth, then we have what we call base area. And the last one would be height. So length times breadth times height would be volume. Okay, and on top here we have V, that stands for volume. So with this, we can now fill in the blanks you can see over here. In order for you to fill in these blanks here, what you should do is you should cover the height. Now, if you were to cover this, then the rest of what you see represents the formula for finding height. So we will be taking the volume, putting it here, the length, putting it here, and the breadth, putting it here. And so we write it like this. We say that volume over length times breadth, and that gives you height. Here, I will add that sometimes we don't say volume over length times breadth, but instead we say volume over base area. And the reason for this is because length times breadth, if you remember, represents base area. So these two formulas are actually the same thing. But sometimes you are given other sides in order to find length. In order to find length, as can be seen here, you will need to cover length, and the rest of it represents the formula for finding length. Volume would be here, breadth, and the given height. Okay, so here I'm going to start putting it in so that you can see that this would be volume, this would be length, and this. Oh, my mistake, sorry. You cannot put length in the length formula, right? So it should be breadth followed by height. Okay, so the other two sides of the container, since there are three sides, length, breadth, and height, if I'm finding length, I use breadth and height. If I'm finding height, I use the other two sides, length and breadth. So then my question will be, what do I do if I want to find breadth? And that is where we will go next. Over here, right at the bottom, you can see that our goal is to find the breadth. Now remember, the formula is volume, length, breadth, and height. And whatever you wish to find, you should cover. So if I were to remove breadth, then as you can see, this is the formula for finding breadth. Remember that whenever you want to find one of the sides, volume needs to be your numerator. Okay, so what you do then is you put in these three values. Volume, length, and height, and that gives you the formula for breadth. So this would be volume, and here we would have length, Remember, it's meant to be the other two sides. So if I'm finding breadth, I should use length and height, which are the other two sides. And that completes your introduction to the formula for volume.